So this video is going to be like an activity in a kind of question that comes up on the Duolingo English language test. And this is recognizing English words. And it's basically a yes-no vocabulary kind of test. There's two types of this test. One is you see a list of words and you have to choose which ones are English words. And the other, you listen to spoken words and you have to choose which ones of those are actual English words. For this section of the test, you're given 1 minute to look at a list of words, and the goal is to choose whether or not the word in English is actually an English word. Is it a real word? So I'm going to actually time this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to look at the screen, and you can decide which words are real English words. Okay, and your time, let me pull up the PowerPoint. Your time will start now. All right, let's see how you did. Okay, there is the word list. I highlighted the words in yellow that are actual English words. If you take a look at them, the word governance is an English word. It is related to ruling something. It can be a government, but it doesn't have to be a government. It can be an organization, and you're talking about the rules of the organization. If something is strategic, that means it's carefully planned. Consciate, I made that word up. Don't know. A participle is a word that is formed from a verb, basically. Hence, it's another way of saying therefore or as a consequence of something. A whale, I also made it up. Subsequent, I made that word up. You can have a real word called subsequent, which means it comes after something else, but the word as I have it, it doesn't exist. To undertake something means to start it. Qualitative is a way of measuring something. A scenario is the written plot of a story. But notice the spelling of scenario. To spell scenario quickly, you need to put a C in it. So that's spelled wrong, and that would make it not qualify as a word. The word whereby is another adverb that just sort of explains by which. Scrumptious means something is delicious. A cacophony is a mix of sounds. Maybe the sounds don't sound very good together, but it's still a mix of sounds. Anachronism is something that's old-fashioned. Epitome is a perfect example of something. And the last one, hubris. Hubris is a word, but this is spelled incorrectly. So hubris means excessive pride. All right, how did you guys do? For the next assignment, it's very similar to the yes or no vocabulary. You are listening to a word and choosing whether or not you think the word is a real word in English. On the actual test, you have an icon that you click on so that you can listen to the word. and you play it for yourself, and then you choose whether or not it's a word. For my video today, I'm just going to read the words to you, and you can make a note of whether you think they are actual words in English or not. Okay, word 1. I'm going to read it twice. Contagious. Contagious. Word 2. Vulnerable. Vulnerable. Word 3. Extramolate. Extramolate. Word 4. Realization. Realization. Word 5. Propagate. Propagate. Word 6. Consider. Consider. Word 7. Idiosyncratic. Idiosyncratic. Word 8. Fibernal. Fibernal. And word 9. Facilitate. Facilitate. Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, the first word, contagious, means that something is easily spread from one person to another. The second word, vulnerable, means that someone or something is susceptible to physical or emotional harm. The third word, extramolate, I made it up. The fourth word, realization, that's not a real word. You could have realization, meaning that you're becoming aware of something, but realization is an incorrect word. To propagate something means to breed it or to cause more to exist. For example, you could propagate flowers. You take a clipping of one flower and make more. Or you can propagate children. To consider is the next word. It means to think carefully about something. The seventh word is idiosyncratic, and that means that something is peculiar or different or unique to itself. Fibernal, I made up, and to facilitate something is to make something easier. All right, so that was our activity in recognizing English words. If you found this helpful and would like more, let me know in the comments.